A week ago today, we saw the largest political comeback ever as Donald Trump made gains among minorities and suburban women voters. And this ad might be one reason why.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
Exit polling suggests that the transgender issue could have been a determining factor in picking up votes for those two demographics specifically. So here to discuss is the man behind that ad, Terry Schilling. He's also the president of the American Principles Project and Claremont Institute Lincoln Fellow. So Terry, tell us about this ad. How did you make it? How did this come to be?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Jill. And it was so awesome spending election night with you.
Lots of high fives.
Lots of high fives and smiling and laughing. In all transparency, I didn't create that ad, but I created dozens of other ads around this transgender issue. And we have been working to convince candidates like Donald Trump to take this issue up on the campaign trail because of how powerful it is. My organization, American Principles Project, we have spent over $1 million focus grouping and message testing and polling this issue in particular, and we found all of the angles. And Jill, I'm telling you, this issue works with every demographic that people like President Trump needed to win over. Suburban women, works with them. Minorities, works with them. Young people, it works with them. Everyone that Trump needed to win on Election Day, he got them using these types of ads.
Terry, is it true to say that Republicans failed to really take up this issue, but Donald Trump did? Or is that an exaggeration?
No, Doc, that's exactly right. Listen, Donald Trump is the first president to win the popular vote since 2004. No Republican has ever won the popular vote since then. And what was the main theme in 2004? Traditional marriage, right? President George W. Bush won that election because of that. Donald Trump figured out what no one else could, which is that the culture wars, fighting against the Democrats' culture war that they've been waging, not just on adults now, but on our children, is a huge political winner. And Donald Trump should get all the credit in the world.
Well, when we look back then to the red wave that wasn't back in 2022, do you think some of the Republicans, when they failed to address these issues like the transgenderism head on, do you think that now had something to do when you look back at that versus a much more bold stance this time around?
Jill, that's exactly right. If we pulled the ad impact data. So ad impact tracks all of the spending and all the campaign ads and what the issue is that's mentioned in the ad. Republicans in 2024 spent over $250 million attacking Democrats on transgender issues. They spent almost no money in 2022 attacking Democrats, even on transgender sports, and definitely none in 2020. The issue was still too premature. But this was I believe one of the biggest changes in the electorate was the use of transgender issues against Democrats. Jill, it's not rocket science. People don't want their children to learn stupid things like men being able to have babies or putting men in girls' sports. They don't want this stuff. It's not that hard to understand.
Now, I know you at one point sat down with President Trump on this issue. Where do you think we go from here? I mean, now he's won. This issue is certainly part of it. You've been laying that out publicly. So what happens next?
There are two things that we need to do going forward, and this is the niche that APP is going to fill. We're going to be bulldogs for President Trump's pro-family agenda. We're going to make sure that he's able to get his 3 pledges done that he included in the RNC platform, defunding all of this woke DEI and transgender programming in schools, defunding sex change procedures for minors, and then also, obviously, fixing girls' sports. We have to deliver on our promises, Doc. Otherwise, voters aren't going to reward us. But secondly, and this is probably just as important, we need to continue to invest millions of dollars into campaigns and elections in 2025. There's a series of congressional congressional races that are going to be special House races. We're going to have a 2-vote margin in the House. We can't lose those races, and these culture war issues are a key to winning those. So we're going to keep ramping up the political pressure on these guys, investing millions of dollars here on this issue, attacking Democrats, making them pay a political price. And then we're also going to be bulldogs for President Trump and his pro-family agenda.
Well, Donald Trump has said promises made, promises kept. He said he did it his first administration. He promises to do it again here. So in the week that it's been since Donald Trump has won, what has you the most fired up about what you've seen so far from what will be the next administration?
Well, he's making so many great choices. Elise Stefanik at the UN ambassador. There's so many more coming down the pike. But I think the thing that I found most promising is just how serious Trump is about reforming the Department of Education. He made several promises to unwind the Department of Education, and it sounds like from the transition team that he's going to hold through to that. So it's absolutely wonderful. We have to get rid of the Department of Education, and we're going to support President Trump in all of his efforts to do that and undo their power and their hold over the American. Only a third of our kids can read at grade level. Did you know? I mean, that's so insane, and that's happened after the Department of Education was instituted in 1979. So we've got to get this job done here.
Terry, in the 60 seconds we have left, I have to say, we have to remind viewers, I mean, we're not tired of winning, right? And we're not tired of enjoying this honeymoon period. So give us your thoughts, because you were there with Jill on that night. Give us a few thoughts. What was that like? When was the big moment?
When they called Pennsylvania, that was when we all knew it was over, right? It was clear we just needed one of those Rust Belt states to win, and we got it pretty early on in the night. Doc, I was just so shocked that we ended up having election results before the morning, yes. Right? So it's absolutely beautiful. But we've got it. Listen, this is going to play out very beautifully on this culture war stuff. You're already seeing Democrats starting to come out and try to moderate on it. And now they're going to have primary challengers. This is a huge wedge issue. We can really drive a stake right down the middle of the entire Democratic Party. It's beautiful. We just got to carry the job through.